Hello and welcome to the Bel-E and Scratch podcast. I'm your host, Bel-E.
And I am your co-host, Scratch.
And today, the button finally worked.
The button.
Yeah, on the recording program that I use on my end, basically as the backup to the recorder. Sometimes at the beginning of our podcast, you'll hear a click of the mouse and me starting it up. Well, I finally found a hotkey to assign it to, so no more button clicking.
No more clicking?
No more clicking.
I like the clicking.
Well, that's too bad.
Release the clicking.
Exactly.
You released it. You let it go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what else you want me to say, man. I don't know. It's just the lazy Sunday as per usual. It definitely
is a lazy Sunday.
I now have grown to appreciate lazy Sundays.
Yeah. Everybody needs a day off. You really do.
Yeah, and here's the thing. It's not just the whole, religious angle where you go and you worship whatever God you choose on this particular day. No. What I mean by, lazy Sundays is a Sunday is the day where I do precisely nothing.
Right.
Like, there might be events like, a convention or someone's wedding, and I'm like, no. So it's on a Sunday? Yeah, no.
Yeah.
No, Sunday is the day where I do absolutely nothing. And I don't care what you want.
No, you need the technical term is Sabbath.
Yeah.
The religion of...
T-posing.
T-posing. The religion of tea.
Yes. The guy that brews their tea.
That brews their tea. Their Sabbath is Saturday.
Yeah.
From sundown Friday to sundown Saturday is their Sabbath.
So technically it starts Friday night.
Yes.
Huh. Any particular reason why that particular and why Sundays got...
I read something a while back that was really interesting. I just wish I could remember it.
Yeah, I'm just curious.
I'm
just curious why the tea-posing religion got Sunday and the religion where they brew their tea got Saturday.
Well, the Sunday...
And as far as I can tell, the religion where you can't draw their guy, they don't have a particular day.
No.
Unless it's... I don't know.
They do every day.
Yeah. So, not really per se a particular day. Not to my knowledge, but anyway.
Their activity is very regimented.
Indeed.
They will...
Was it 5 times a day?
5 times a day.
Okay.
5 times a day.
Pray 5 times a day, which... Sure.
Every day.
Yeah. I'm not dismissing it. I'm not trying to mock it. I'm just like... Not for me. Not for me, and that's okay. Everyone is built differently, because we're all individuals.
I think during that time the British actually drank tea.
Sure.
Tea time.
Every day is tea time, man.
But I'm not sure.
Oh, I know what can kick this off.
What's that?
Okay. There is a subreddit on Reddit. Called r/trees.
Trees.
That is where the 420 folk congregate.
All right.
And sometimes I like to go on there for a few reasons. One, people have very interesting stories. I think they're called hideas.
How quaint.
Indeed. There's people will tell stories about, this one time I got so high I saw, aliens or some shit.
Really?
Something. Yes, something. Some kind of a high idea or high story.
Well, I'm glad they had a positive experience because those times that I would tell about the
time you got so high you saw a molder flashing a flashlight at the aliens.
Yeah. Didn't have a physically positive outcome.
Sure. Well, typically that's more the mushrooms, but whatever. Anyway, no, I get you. there's like stories. People have really good advice. And then there's like
eating Cheetos or something.
No, stuff like, well, actually the advice that I got, I can't really disclose on this side of the internet.
From my perspective, stay out of the hospitals is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We used to get these, it was so funny, we would get these, it was always these teenage boys.
Who found like their parents' stash or something.
I don't know, they just late, I got a good story about finding your parents' stash.
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah.
Not for me.
But what I'm talking about, we can get to that in a second, but what I'm talking about is these dudes that would smoke this weed they weren't used to.
Oh, like something potent?
Something real potent. They call it the Big Bud High.
Oof.
Then they'd show up at the local ER complaining, thinking they were going to die.
Yeah. It
used to really get on my nerves.
Yeah, you're not going to die.
It'd be like, they'd come in the door, yes, sir, we're going to be a man, I don't know what's going on, man. They would,
and then they would
name off a couple of complaints, so their heart rate's too fast and they're all sweaty. Then they would say they just smoked some really strong bud or something.
Yeah.
And, but it's not that. Oh, okay.
Uh-huh.
It's not that. All right.
All right, buddy.
All right, dude. So, I'd always fill out the paperwork and put them in line to go in the back, and I'd point and I'd say, "Hey, man, there's some chairs right over there. See that? That's a snack machine. That's a snack machine. While you sitting over there, before we call you back,
get yourself a snack.
Yeah, there's some Cheetos in that snack machine. Why don't you get some of those?
Yeah, you'll be fine.
About a half hour later, they would be gone.
Yeah.
Be like, all right.
You just needed some food.
You just needed some food, man, to calm that stuff down.
No, what I mean is advice like if you were to roll something, you would there would be someone on there that would be like, "Hey, man, the dollar store's got these $2 trays for candy. You can use those." Stuff like that.
You mean like making bongs out of stuff?
Making joints out of stuff.
Oh.
Yeah, to use it as a joint tray, to roll stuff.
Tray.
Yeah, basically.
All right.
Stuff like that and more extreme stuff. But,
And here I thought the application of Dollar General was just one-dimensional.
Indeed. Nope. Dollar General is, very popular, especially with
They were all over the place during my recent excursion to the north with the matriarch.
Really?
Oh, yeah, they were everywhere.
I'm not surprised.
You're in the middle of nowhere down some back road, and there's nothing but trees. And then all of a sudden,
there's
like,
Dollar.
Oh, hey,
yeah. There's Dollar General.
There's a Dollar General.
There's a dollar store somewhere.
Woo!
And then there's the humor side of r/trees.
Yeah. And
I have found possibly some of the so far the dumbest shit I've ever encountered.
All right.
And that means a lot, actually.
Okay.
Because I'm on the, imagine. Hey. Damn it. Okay, imagine.
Yeah.
This is a subreddit dedicated to the electric lettuce.
All right. Excuse me.
Water.
All right. Good.
And I found the dumbest thing that I could possibly find on there.
To this point.
Yes. Because here's the thing. It's not... I don't think it's dumb as in dangerous, because that's a totally different category. I mean dumb... I mean dumb as in... Why? Kind of dumb. This is a GIF. What non-smokers think when I say wake and bake.
All right.
Now, that has a particular connotation. It is not this. Hang on. Hopefully it... Bruh, you better not make me do... Oh, God, I gotta sign in.
Uh-oh.
Hang on. Anyway.
Dead air.
Yeah. Hang on.
No, if you ever want to hear a good story, I got one on finding your parents' stash.
Oh boy.
Is it
Fuck's sake.
is it SMR time? Ooh.
No. Hey, all right.
It's SMR
All
time.
right, okay, it finally is starting to work.
I'm taking over.
Okay. No, it's fine. All right, I just had to go through some hoops and actually sign in because it's registered as not safe for work, and you gotta be, clogged in order to look at it. It's not profane, but it's definitely like, you stupid bitch,
All right.
kind of thing.
All right.
Okay, so the title of this is what non-smokers think when I say wake and bake. And this is some dumb shit right here. Like, I don't even want to describe this, but you know what? I found it the other day, so this is happening.
Well, you need to be wearing a ski mask, buddy, because you're an idiot.
Yeah, that dude.
That's, that's...
Yeah, that is the dumbest thing I have found in a long time.
Things are getting out of hand.
Yeah,
this attention-seeking behavior.
Well, of course, we're all stuck in a panini.
Yeah, and everybody wants, everything's turned into clickbait.
Yeah.
So it's basically.
Except the thing is, that's not even clickbait. That is a dumb motherfucker sucking eggs out of a bong.
How can I debase or injure myself in a humorous way? An interesting way.
Yeah.
To draw viewers, subscribers,
whatever,
likers,
whatever.
I don't know, man. That's getting a little. I'm not gonna say it's getting out of hand because I think it can get a whole lot worse.
True, but at the same time, it's like, okay, at what point do you start to make stuff like OnlyFans look quaint in comparison? You know what I mean?
Well, that's where you're headed.
Exactly.
You start out with, smoking a bong that's filled with raw eggs.
Yeah,
then all of a sudden you're
drinking it.
And drinking it, and then all of a sudden, down the road when you're still trying to make a living doing it, you're searching for different objects and utensils in your house to insert in yourself. So
no, thank you.
No, thank you. That's what I'm saying. I mean, at what point do you get to that? I don't know. It's strange. The concept, I can see it coming. I really can. I can see the concept of everybody being in front of a camera and being monitored was something that crossed my mind when I was really young.
Sure.
Middle school, 5th, 6th, 7th grade was when those things started to really arrive. And in my mind, I just could not see the infrastructure needed to
do something like that.
To allow such a dynamic to take place. But now
it's everywhere.
It's everywhere, which I find extremely interesting.
Indeed.
Because in my mind, the type of people that I knew that were in the circles that I ran in wouldn't. Their approach is kind of like mine. I just wouldn't allow myself to be on camera 24 hours a day, that sort of thing. And then I began to see it in the reality shows. And then there was the Osbournes, and then everything and then, a couple other, these different, housewives of wherever, fill in the blank.
No, thank you.
Where people's, real life. I mean, it's a documentary kind of real life drama unfolding in front of everybody.
And obviously, some parts of it is manufactured.
Some parts of it are manufactured,
but the concept that you allow cameras to be on you all the time.
All the time.
I mean, it's at one point. At what point do you say, "Hey, can you turn the cameras off so I can go take a shit or something like that?"
Exactly. So
yeah, at what point does it just become like, "Hey, Get the fuck out of my house.
But see, that's the whole thing. You know, everything comes in these small waves that allows you to get comfortable with the idea of. And I saw these reality shows, you know, coming into people's homes and their life and their drama, you know, that everybody has.
It's nothing special. It's just the whole thing of why.
Just being introduced to the possibility of. And now, you know, people's entire lives are on display, and that's why. And now, if you make a living at it,
yeah, that's different.
You know, it holds you up to a certain standard, you know, that you can be canceled out of.
Ugh.
You know.
Yeah, no, I get it.
And you become, and nothing's really changed. It just happens. The casting out of the group dynamic, which has always existed.
It's just changed here and there.
Well, it's grown larger. The input is faster. The results are faster.
True.
I mean, I could see it when the reality show started, because I thought, you know, this would be the vehicle that type of idea, possibility would be implanted in people through their association with watching these shows. And now with the other social media services, people are
basically filming themselves,
living their life in pictures, you know.
Almost everything you see online is a lie.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. That's what I find so disturbing, is that, you know, these presentations. Well, it's almost like I guess the closest association that I can put up would be during my teens when I lifted.
Sure.
And had all, you know, and trained and had the training magazines and stuff like that. And, you know, these, trying to emulate these physiques, and, you know, then getting older and wiser and realizing that these photographs are taken with special cameras and special lighting, and these people are pumped up, and you know, it's just this unrealistic ideal trying to live up to.
Yeah,
and that's unfolding in social media right now.
Oh yeah. No, I mean, and stuff like that really isn't new. It's the whole thing of
no, it isn't new.
It's the whole thing of, you know, it's like in modeling, they'll you know, take pictures of people and then just Photoshop the shit out of them.
Yeah.
Remove any humanity, any flaw, any crevice, pimple, spot.
Blemish,
whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Just remove all of that, so you have this hyperinflated look of what a human being should ideally look like.
That's what's so dangerous about it, because, you know, when I was going through it, you know, these are basically pro contest level bodybuilders.
Of course.
Now that bar has been moved. How about moved? Let's use moved. Has been moved to the average person who gets up in the morning and, you know, puts on some clothes and some slippers, and, you know, it's just, you got to be, you know, looking dynamite 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
I mean,
I mean, back in the day when it was, you know, around the Arnold Schwarzenegger-esque era. Now, granted, those guys were on juice.
Yeah.
They were on something.
Yeah.
But if you look at how they used to look like versus today, it is like, Jesus, there's a fly in here. You know, here's the thing. In the Arnold Schwarzenegger era, they still look like people.
Yeah.
Very muscular and defined, but they still look like a human being.
Yeah, these people today are...
Yeah, it's like their peaks have peaks. Their pecs have pecs.
You know, Arnold's still alive, but all these people are dying.
Yeah, because it's gotten to the point where it's like, you basically have to look like a fucking comic book character come to life.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's gotten to that point.
You know,
and I can see in some of the stuff that I've read lately has led me to believe that there is a backlash going on where, people are
Getting tired of that?
Well, old schoolers are talking about, we need to go back to a classic physique.
I have no problem with that because, that's kind of the reason why I know me and my trainer discussed about me, doing competition. I could. Here's the problem. The way it's set up now is I would have to do something to myself to where, at the end of the day, it's like, if I get up to the competition counter, it's like that at some point for the whole women bodybuilders, that's not a boob. That's a pec.
Right.
And I'm not sacrificing my body in that particular manner, not per se the whole boob thing, just the whole thing of where it's like...
Oh, yeah, no.
You know what I mean?
It's just like anything else. I mean, that's those types of contests, they require... they require application on a level that
I'm not willing to go through.
That you must be naturally inclined to embrace.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because if you try to force yourself into something like that, man, that's tough. That's ultimate.
And I'm not saying that whole bodybuilding competition thing is out of the woodwork for me. It isn't. But in terms of what it is now, where the women essentially have to take testosterone to get themselves jacked up at a level to look acclimatable for the competitions. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, just to even qualify.
And I'm like, I'm sorry, I am not doing that.
Yeah, I know some dudes that got into competing and started to go up through the amateur ranks and then got to right at the jumping off point where you were trying to get your quote-unquote pro card. And they found out what they were going to have to do.
And decided, nah.
Just to get into the next level. And it was like, okay.
Yeah. There's a difference between being fit and then there's like, hey, we're going to need like 30 milligrams of like deer tranquilizer. That's probably not even in there, but still. No, I tell people the way I tell my clients, because, me, personal trainer, plug. That's not really a plug, because no one knows who I am on the internet, but that's okay.
That's okay.
Whenever I trained female clients, I basically tell them, after they sign the contract, because with very few exceptions, whenever a chick is signing up for personal training, right, you basically have to guarantee them that they're not going to look like a man by the end of it.
Oh, no.
And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with looking like a dude, but a lot of women are not interested in that whole, like, Superman, Arnold Schwarzenegger, overly muscular. So you basically have to tell them we will firm, tighten, and tone your body.
Right.
You are going to look gorgeous. You have to use these soft, flowery words.
Right.
I'm not trying per se to convince them to sign up with me. It's just this whole thing of there's a preconceived notion that you have to basically carry their dumb ass across that line so that they can, be better off in the end. Let's be fair. Well, and then once they sign that contract and they're training with me, I have to tell them, all right, look, in order for a lass to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger or to get anywhere close to that, it has to be a conscious effort.
Right. It has to be a hardcore eat, breathe, and sleep.
Yes. You have to consciously in your mind go, I want to do that, and commit to it every day in order to look like an Arnold Schwarzenegger type person for a woman.
Yes.
It's not like, it's kind of the same scenario where you get drunk and then you accidentally built a shelf. You don't do that. That's not a thing.
You wake up partially unclothed. You don't wake up with carpentry done.
Exactly.
Where did that credenza come from?
Yeah,
Why am I covered in sawdust?
Exactly. For a woman to quote unquote accidentally work out to the point where she looks like a very muscular guy, it's not an accident.
No.
It is a conscious choice.
And it will always involve a barbell.
Indeed.
All right. And what you do is not focused on barbells.
No, I mean, Here's the thing. I'm not anti-barbell.
No. Well, here's how it goes.
It's just I can't do barbell squats because it's gonna hurt my back.
Barbells basically, they basically mine the rock out of the mountain.
Yeah.
And what you do now basically polishes it into a diamond.
Yeah, that's basically it.
If you never start with a barbell and you go straight to what you're doing,
yeah, kettlebell stuff and dumbbells, cables, and
things like that.
Yeah, I'm not in the business of I'm gonna turn a 300-pound dude into like a 125-pound warrior. I'm not that type of personal trainer. No. Will I get to that level? Maybe. I can learn to do it.
Yeah.
But at this particular point, I'm just like, you know what? You want to lose weight? Awesome. You want to gain muscle? Also awesome. But I gotta consult someone first.
Right.
Namely you, my boss, my trainer.
Yeah.
You know?
So, yeah, but for what you do, the type of training that you teach for women is perfect.
Yes.
Absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
And it's great for guys, too.
Oh, it is.
Who are not interested in, moving a bunch of heavy weight around.
No.
Because to look like a guy, you got to get heavy.
Yes, you do.
Okay, you got to get heavy. You got to stay in the low reps, like 3 to 5. Mm-hmm. And you don't do anything like that.
No. You know, the way we do it, it's not like picking up a 300-pound weight and then you just move it once or twice and then you put it down. No.
Now these CrossFit chicks, they got close, but they do.
CrossFit scares the shit out of me.
They do that Olympic style snatch. Where they pull, and like I said, we go back to where the barbell is.
Yes.
They pull that barbell off the floor, go overhead.
Yep.
And stand up with it.
Yeah.
And that is as close as anyone will get to that type of physique.
Yep. Without the drugs.
Without the drugs, yeah.
Yeah, this is why CrossFit scares me.
Well, I mean,
because I initially thought that what I was doing was kind of scary.
Well, it is.
For me, what I'm doing essentially is like cardio workout, cardio weightlifting.
But, there's a particular aspect of what you do when you go into that, what it's called is time under tension. Mm-hmm. And you basically drop the poundage, which is better for the body, for the average person.
Yes, it is.
You drop the poundage and you go up in not just reps, but you go up in style of reps.
Yes.
And you don't set the weight down and you keep that. There are parts of what you train where you keep the weight or you keep the tension on the muscle.
Yes.
Not necessarily weight, it's tension.
Yes.
And you just get a better density to the muscle, which is good for appearance.
Indeed.
And you get
it's also good for longevity too.
It is good for longevity, and you get because you're not. When you get into lifting really, really heavy weight, it makes you it can make you very one-dimensional.
Yes.
Okay, and what you're doing is full development.
Which is good.
Yeah. Like I said, for somebody who's not really interested in, living in a gym.
No.
4, 5, 6 days a week, which I have done.
Yeah, I've done that for a period of time, and then my knee got all murked up. So it's better.
Yeah.
No. I really like the style that I have come across because it works.
It works.
And you're doing it at some point.
I am. I've done it.
Like when you get situated with your new situation.
Yeah.
Not waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning all the time.
Man, it was wearing me out.
Yeah, as soon as you get to the point where you're like situated and everything is on lock, you and I are going to be we're going to be doing some stuff.
Probably this upcoming late winter.
Yes, like definitely after
early
this
spring.
Week. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to make you train through the holiday season, but you're doing something.
Yeah, I'll do something.
Because here's the thing. For you and I here's the thing. For you and I, especially you, because you've been on this planet longer, you have been going through workout routine, trying to find something that worked.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to find some kind of program that worked.
I've seen it all.
Yeah.
I've seen it all.
Yeah. And here's the thing. You found stuff that didn't not work.
Right.
But sometimes they were just not designed for someone built like you and I, which are big, long-limbed, long-ligamented people.
Right. Yeah.
Now, granted, what I'm doing was made by a guy who was like 5'4", but
yeah, but
like
the guy
stone.
he learned it from wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just adapted.
Yeah, he adapted.
So basically, the system that I have, I'm not plugging it per se because actually I am sponsored by it. But anyway, there's no audience, so I'm not going to do it. Well, there is, but there isn't. But anyway, so
there will be.
There will be. Yeah, we will have an audience because
we will.
Yeah. We will.
Who else does this?
I don't know.
I've watched some of these podcasts. These people are boring as fuck. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, hey.
I mean, if all it takes is basically, like a couple of advertising campaigns and a slick production, and that's it. Hell, you and I, once we get situated, we can do that and have better content. But anyway.
I get better content coming out of my ass.
Yeah. All right.
Bring a third person in the room and I'll skewer them.
Indeed.
Absolutely.
So, essentially, basically, the reason I still like what I'm doing is not just because I like being a trainer, and I do. I didn't think that I would. There you go.
Thank you.
So, you're gonna have to unscrew it if you want some more.
Oh.
Yeah, it's you guys. You gotta suck on it like a straw.
Oh.
It's smart that way.
All right.
So.
Cool.
Part of what I enjoy about this program is it works for me. It's not just the fact that the working out part works. It's not just the fact that the diet is sound. It's the fact that if you fall down the hole and, you gain a bunch of weight that you don't mean to, you can dig yourself out of that hole.
Oh, definitely.
That is what got me about how I train. It's not just the fact it gets you in shape. It's not just the fact that it's got a good diet. It's the fact that you fall down that hole, you can dig yourself back out of it.
I've never seen a non-extreme way to bring yourself back into line.
Exactly. That's why I like it.
Yeah.
Even if I didn't work for them, I'd be like, oh, you need to do this, man.
Oh, yeah, you need to do this, even if you weren't a part of their...
Yeah, that's how much it,
Yeah.
Granted, my boss just she scares the hell out of me. Seriously, one day you will meet my boss.
Sure.
Because here's the thing, there is a group of people that I respect.
Right.
There's a smaller group of people that I like, an even smaller group of people that I love, and even smaller than that is like just a tiny handful of people who I would just rather not talk to because they scared the shit out of me. My boss is one of them.
Yeah.
She's not scary in terms of I'm gonna get fired. Like she'll,
I'll come back in here with a weapon. And,
she doesn't scare me, and
no.
she doesn't scare me in terms of she's going to physically hurt me or emotionally or spiritually or whatever. No,
she's intense.
She's intense.
And the meaning of intense is a place where hippies sleep. Intense.
There's actually a festival like that about to happen in a couple weeks.
Wonderful.
Indeed. Honestly, I had actually had musings about going to it just so I can just be like, hey, I'm personal trainer. I'm hippie friendly. Just don't come in on shrooms. I can't handle that. I'm not certified for that.
Yeah, no plant-based compounds.
Yeah.
Or anything produced, any 100% organically produced vegetable matter from a third world country.
Yeah, like my whole gig on that is like, please don't bring the drugs, and if you do drugs, make sure it's from the earth, not made in a lab.
Yeah, no labs.
Yeah. One's not better, because obviously one is better than the other, but anyway. Yeah.
Anyway.
No, I know. Yeah, the hippie that works out is a rare breed.
It is.
And when I find that breed, I am going to be like, you are my best friend.
They're out there.
Oh, I know they're out there. I'm kind of in the doorway of one, or of being one,
Right.
Essentially.
Pretty much.
Indeed. But no, because I'm just trying to get my name out there. I'm gonna be for reals. I'm trying to find people who will work out with me.
I think you're doing okay.
Yeah, I think I'm doing okay too. Because I'm just like,
Oh, you just got to keep. It's just like chopping down a tree.
Oh, I know.
Swinging that axe.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not gonna stop. No, this hasn't given me pause for like maybe I should change careers. No, I have one client. And she's going to see me probably for the rest of her days.
Yeah.
Because I'm good to her.
Right.
I'm not the, I've actually had to tell my my fellow dance classmates about, like, come train with me. And they're like, but you're scary. We're afraid to train with you. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not the scary one. I'm not the scary one. Trust me.
Well,
because my style of training is cheerleader.
You planted that seed, so.
No, I know.
So it'll work out.
Yeah. To be fair, I've gotten a lot better in the past few years.
Yeah, that seed takes a little time to grow.
No, I know.
So.
Yeah, when I was younger, I wanted to be perceived as scary because no one would stop just talking to me.
Oh, yeah.
Like, through school, it's like people wouldn't leave me alone, so
when
I had
attractive, people are...
Yeah, so I had to do stuff.
Always approaching you.
Yeah, so I had to do stuff to make people stop doing that.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that I don't want to be perceived as intimidating, but right now it's kind of impeding my progress.
Well, you basically were raised on not presenting yourself as a victim.
True. This is true.
And that's a big part of not being taken advantage of by the jungle.
Whoever.
Whatever's in the jungle.
Indeed.
It's not being perceived. It is not being perceived as a victim. So that's important.
Indeed,
especially
it is.
For
alas.
Indeed. Absolutely.
Man, nothing happened this past week.
No, but I brought up something earlier. All right.
Yeah, what'd you bring up? I'm
finding your parents' stash.
Oh, God, yeah.
Okay.
All right. What happened?
I was working in an ER in Bakersfield, California. Now, I don't know if you know anything about Bakersfield, California, but it is the asshole of the United States. And, there's the armpits, and there's all sorts of different places and parts, but...
specifically Bakersfield.
Specifically Bakersfield, California.
Yeah.
It's a big drug hub because it's right there near the border in Southern California.
Yeah, that'll
right there, and it is a huge trucking town. It's a trucker town.
Yeah. So we got truckers and we got
truckers
drugs.
and a lot of stuff coming up out of south of Texas, coming up over the border. And so I was working this ER in Bakersfield, California, with my good brother from another mother, Mr. LP, Uncle Lance, to you. And so we got a call from paramedics bringing in this 9-year-old kid. 9-year-old kid.
All right.
So,
this is not suspicious at all.
Well, no, it really wasn't. We heard the report that, the kid was confused.
Yeah.
Quote unquote confused.
Yes.
He was agitated and combative. And which can happen if you have a blow to the head. So we were suspecting that he had some sort of head trauma.
Okay.
Whether he had done it to himself, accidentally falling down some stairs, slipping on some concrete, landing on his head. Which for some reason, when a person's feet slip, the head's first thing it hits the floor. And it's very eerie sound.
Ugh.
Ugh. And,
So this kid's coming
so
in.
his kid comes in, right? So these medics are bringing his kid through the door. And this kid is going, this kid's 9. He's 9.
He's 9.
He's 9, okay? And he is going off like a bomb. He is screaming. There's one medic that's pushing the stretcher. There's another medic that is guiding the stretcher.
Uh-huh.
And there's a big fat medic up on top of the stretcher, on top of this kid trying to hold him down.
Uh-huh. And did that clue you into something?
I'm gonna tell you something. Me and LP were standing there and we were seeing the site. He and I had done some trauma together before. I definitely had done more trauma than him at that time.
Yeah.
But it had been mostly adults. And I had seen this presentation to a point.
But pediatric was not something you specialized in.
It definitely was not something that I had at that time. I had maybe 20%,
sure.
15, 20% of my experience had been pediatric.
Sure.
So they bring this kid in. They don't have an IV on him. And he is just he is just rolling around. This medic's trying to hold him down. Mm-hmm. And I mean, he is like the revenge of Eddie Munster. I mean, he is like, fucking bitch! He is screaming his head off and swinging and thrashing around. They were glad to hand him to us. So me and LP put him in the room, and we're trying to get...
You're trying to do something.
Trying to get control of him so we can get an IV in him. Uh-huh. Right? So we can drug him down. So at this point, what you have to be careful about any type of head wound is you have to be careful about what you give them. Because if you knock them down too hard with the wrong stuff, you can kill them.
Sure, yes.
It does not lead to a good recovery. Let's put it that way.
Sure.
So they wheel him in, right? And me and LP are trying to get this kid, and I'm about 6 feet.
Yeah.
About 265 pounds at the time.
Mm-hmm.
LP's about 6'2", probably 215, 210 pounds, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
So I'm holding him down and trying to get an arm loose.
Yeah.
So LP can put an IV in him and give him some drugs. I think we were going to give him some Valium. We're going to give him some IV Valium just to relax him
of
out.
that good old Valium.
Yeah, and so because we're still not sure whether he didn't look like he wasn't bruised up and he wasn't bloody or anything like that. So we were kind of questioning. We thought maybe he's having some type of episode, some type of seizure kind of
something,
episode, which really didn't apply because most.
But you were still asking questions.
There's still nothing. There's really nothing purposeful, individually purposeful about someone having a seizure, although.
They just kind of flail a bit.
But he could have had some type of head trauma or he was hit in the head and then it was causing this. And
but you were still questioning, like, this kid's not bruised up. He's not bloody. But you're like...
bloody. And this kid looked, he was a buck-toothed towhead. He was like the poster child for the child of a soccer mom that drives a minivan that hands out juice boxes to the rest of the team and she drives them home. He was Americana.
Yeah. Page
boy haircut, cussing us for everything we were worth. Skin was clear, good teeth. He was a poster child, right? So we're trying to hold him down. And all of a sudden this kid flips over on his side and pulls me up on my toes. Pulls me. Okay.
You.
Pulls me, a 265 pound grown man pulls me, and I've been lifting since I was 13, right? So I'm not weak. Mm-hmm. All right. So I was holding this kid down. He flipped over, pulled me up on my toes. I looked at LP and I said, "This kid's on PCP."
Oh God.
He said, "You're crazy." Now imagine, right?
Yeah.
He and I, these two grown men, we're fighting this flailing 9-year-old boy on this stretcher.
And then all of a sudden, you're just like coming out with this pearl of wisdom.
I said, this kid's on PCP. He said, you're crazy. There's no way this kid's... I mean, we're screaming at each other in this room, right, trying to get this kid down. And he said, you're crazy. There's this kid's 9 years old.
Where is he going to get PCP?
I said, I don't care, man. There ain't no way that a 9-year-old boy laying on his back can flip and pull me up on my toes. It's not possible. He was like, you're dumb. Shut the fuck up.
And you were just going at it.
See, we were like, and I love him like a brother, man. It's just
but this is like the one time.
We're like, fuck you, man. No, fuck you, man.
This is like the one time where LP was just drawing the line in the sand.
He was drawing the line. There's no way this kid's on PCP. I said, this kid's on PCP, man.
And now you're both going at each other's throats.
Well, the great thing about being a professional is that you can have that type of exchange while performing your duties at the highest level.
Yes.
That's what being a professional is. Correct. Right there, okay?
Yeah.
So here and I are having this exchange, fighting this kid down. So finally we get, I hold him still enough, LP pops a line in him, puts an IV in him, gives him something, calms him down, hook him up to the monitor, get his blood pressure, start monitoring.
Meanwhile, you're still cussing each other out.
They were still like, I'm telling you, man, shut the fuck up, man. I don't want to hear this bullshit. And
you're on PCP.
You're on PCP.
No, you're on PCP.
No, you're on PCP. So we go outside and we start the paperwork, right? And then all of a sudden, this kid's parents show up.
Oh.
This man and this woman show up as his parents, and both of them looked like they had been sleeping in the trunk of a Buick for the last 6 months.
Ooh.
They had skin that was brown and leathery like a saddlebag. And then we knew that there was some type of drug was involved because this kid didn't look like he came from that type of household.
Sure.
But they were textbook. Well, you don't know a book by its cover. Yes, I do.
Yeah, they train you to do that.
I've seen enough of them. Don't tell me what I don't. Yeah. What I don't see. And then the cops show up. And then the
cops are like, the fuck happened?
Social Services show up. And apparently. Parents had a bottle of PCP under their kitchen sink.
Which is the best place to put it.
Which obviously is the best place to put it.
Okay.
With the rest of the caustic, dangerous chemicals that you clean your toilet with.
Of course.
And the kid had gotten into their PCP.
Okay. I have questions. I have several questions.
Yes.
All
Student
right.
in the front.
Now, not to victim blame or anything.
No.
But, okay, so the PCP was like in a bottle with all the other, like, bleach and ammonia under the kitchen sink. Okay. Now.
Apparently PCP it comes in a liquid.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out what the thought process of the kid was. Because here's the thing, it'd be one thing if it was like, ooh, the liquor cabinet, you can't go in the liquor cabinet, and then the kid obviously is like, man, fuck my parents, I'm gonna drink whatever's in the liquor cabinet.
Yeah.
You know, it's nothing for them to be like, oh, don't open this safe, there's a gun in there, and guns are dangerous, and the kid goes, man, fuck my parents, I'm gonna crack this safe and go play with the gun. It's one thing.
That's a very good observation.
Yeah, it's one thing to do that, versus another for a 9-year-old to go into the sink, the cabinets under the sink.
Under the kitchen sink.
Past the bleach, past the ammonia, past all the cleaning stuff with all the harsh chemicals.
I hope they would have put it in the back.
Yeah, I would hope they would have put it in the back. And then the kid pops up with the specific bottle of PCP and goes, hey, this is like a bottle, I don't know what it is among the bleach and ammonia and other harsh cleaners. I'm going to drink it.
I would imagine he had to have drank it.
Yeah, because I'm just like...
the only application, I would imagine there are people that drink it, I don't know.
Sure. I don't know how,
basically what people do is they'll they'll roll a joint,
Sure.
a marijuana joint.
Yeah, and then, they'll dip it in
dip it in the liquid.
Yeah.
That's called a sherm.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Named after a prominent actor.
Indeed.
Back in the day.
Indeed.
Who went off his nut and smoked a joint laced with PCP. PCP makes adults want to get naked. Like, have you ever watched these videos where these cops got somebody pinned up somewhere?
Yeah, there's like 9 cops on one person.
There's 9 cops.
And that one person is still fighting off the 9 cops.
And,
yeah, it's PCP.
And especially if they're naked.
Yes.
They are on PCP.
Yes.
Period. It's no discussion.
Yeah, for some reason, PCP makes people naked. It gives them super strength.
It's crazy.
Turns off whatever part of the brain that says maybe we shouldn't do that.
It also turns off the pain receptors.
Yeah, this is why.
So
this is another reason why if you ever see videos of cops like having to unload 2 to 3 guns worth of bullets into someone and they're still walking. It's
or you
PCP.
got six plus the cops billy clubbing somebody.
Yeah, and
they're just shrugging it off.
Yeah, the PCP.
That's PCP.
Yeah, that's PCP.
Okay. Kiss my foot. That's PCP. I've seen it.
I can't think of anything that come close.
Angel dust.
Yeah.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
You know, maybe he saw his parents do something with it, but I'm still sitting here just going like, I'm not a scientist. But if I were to walk into some kind of science, storage unit,
right,
and I see stuff like sulfuric acid and a bunch of other bottles nearby that I don't recognize, I'm not going to open it.
You're not going to open it,
yeah,
right.
Now granted, I'm not 9 years old.
You're sure not going to take a swig
of it, yeah. Yeah, now granted, I'm not 9 years old and I wasn't raised in a druggy household, but I'm just still curious about the thought process. Like I said, I don't mean to victim blame, but I'm still
he obviously had to have seen
someone do it.
Someone do it.
Yeah.
His parents interact with it a certain way.
Yeah. Yeah, and him not understanding the ramifications or how to ingest it properly if there is such a way.
Such a thing.
Yeah.
Least damaging method.
Least damaging. Yeah. Like maybe a sherm is the least damaging method. And even then. Yeah. But anyway.
It always blew me away because I've dealt with people who went out and they always ended up. If you want a good time, if you want to end up at your local emergency room, leathered, all 4 of your limbs leather restrained down with a tube in every hole that you possess.
Yes.
By all means, smoke a sherm.
Yes.
You will show up naked. We will put
incubated.
Intubated. We will put tubes in you to keep you alive until you come down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So don't do it, man. I don't know. Shit be wild out west.
People get a little carried away. It's like, I don't know where that. I have gone out and go, you know what, it's been a rough week, now I'm going to go out and I'm going to get drunk.
Yeah.
But the idea that there's a high probability that you're going to end up naked in the local ER.
And intubated?
Intubated.
Yeah. No. It's not worth it, man.
With a big tube in your bladder. Yeah. You don't want it.
No, you don't want it.
You don't want it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, we always talk about point A to point B.
Yeah, honestly.
How does that thought process engage?
Yeah, and honestly and truly, what gets me is just how certain drugs still get circulated.
Yeah.
Because it's one thing to, be electric lettuce dealer or a shroom dealer, because I'm not saying those are relatively harmless. They could or could not be. But in terms of, you got stuff where you're probably not going to die, like electric lettuce, shrooms, stuff that's grown from the planet.
Right.
Where, honestly, the only danger is if you accidentally, hurt yourself. It's not from the drug itself. Then you get to more extreme stuff like heroin, cocaine, crack cocaine, because there is a difference.
There is.
More extreme still, you got meth, you got PCP, and then you got the crocodile tears, or whatever the hell they're called in Russian.
Oh,
you
yeah.
got the bath salts, and further still, and it's like the more, and I'm just like, how does stuff like that exist? Because it's one thing to get high.
How does it continue to find a market?
How does it continue to find a market when the market continuously dies?
That's a good point.
You know, because at least with like,
you can do it.
Yeah.
But it'll kill you.
Yeah, but it'll kill you.
I don't know.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
There we go. Hopefully they can open the door.
Yeah.
At least with stuff like, I'm not saying heroin or cocaine.
No, I'm not trying to be glib about it. I agree.
Yeah,
I'm
but
like,
at the same time, it takes a couple years.
Yeah.
For that to kill you.
Right.
But with stuff like PCP and bath salts and the Russian crocodile drug, which it's not made from crocodiles, it just looks like it just looks like crocodile when you look at it non-translated. That straight up kills people.
Yeah, that stuff comes from gasoline.
Exactly. And huffing paint, huffing fumes, and it's paint. Like, dude, that's just going to kill you.
People.
You know, at least with the electric lettuce and shrooms, I mean, yeah, you're going to have a hell of a time.
You know, you're staring at the, I know, it's weird.
You're staring at your hand moving for 6 hours.
A couple of dudes that I had to, one night, determine that I was not going to hang out with them anymore. You know, I knew that they had, you know, issues, not yet, well, at that time, they've, as adults, they've had issues, but during that time, you know, they were still, one of them probably had issues with drugs and alcohol and all that stuff, but it wasn't a huge thing. And then I go over to visit them, and I look down, and next to the chair that I'm sitting in,
there's a crack pipe.
There is a bag of balloons. You know.
Yeah. Balloons.
Just circular balloons.
Yeah.
And a can of car air conditioning Freon.
They were huffing Freon.
And it was kind of like, you know, I mentioned, you know, there's certain things that shouldn't appear together.
Yeah.
One of these things
is not like the other. Yeah. One of these things is not the same.
You're like, wait a minute. There's a can of Freon with a hose on it next to it. And then there's a bag of balloons over here. And it was just two things that didn't necessarily need to be in the same shot.
And yet
there they were, 6 inches apart from each other. And I said, what is this? And basically they were
very logical question.
Yeah, basically they were putting Freon in a balloon until it warmed up and they would huff it.
No.
And I was like, oh, okay. So I finished that night. I never went back over there again.
No, you don't need to go back over there.
I never went back again. I'm like, okay.
Look, here's the thing.
That's dumb on a scale that I can't even calculate.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Like, here's the thing. I have known people who don't do drugs. I've known people who did do drugs. I feel more comfortable around the people who do electric lettuce and the shrooms.
Oh,
you know, the ayahuasca, you know, stuff like that, which I know about. And unfortunately, I know how to make it.
Mm.
Yeah, that was a very enlightening conversation, I'm not going to lie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It just goes to my philosophy of talk to everybody.
Talk to everybody. Oh, you're a shaman.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it's like, oh yeah, you know, you just, you put the thing in the other thing, you know, and then you heat it up to a certain degree, and you know, shit like that, and it's like,
All right.
I didn't know.
The biscuits go with that?
Yeah. No, they don't, actually. Yeah, like I said, I talk to everybody because I don't know what I'm going to learn. That was one of them. I was like, okay. All right. So if I ever just need to go see God personally, I know how to do it. Yeah.
Gotta get past the receptionist.
Yeah. Yeah, go see Jesus for a little bit, ask him some questions.
Sure.
Yeah, so if I ever needed to hold a personal interview with Jesus, I know how to get there.
All right.
I have the key to his front door. So I'm more comfortable around people like that because they're relatively harmless.
I think they are.
Because for the most part, obviously, you're going to have the people who are just doing it just to not live their life.
True.
That's always going to be present inside of the people who do the drugs. They just don't want to be here in the present moment.
Right. They don't want to be present.
Yeah, for one reason or another, be it a good reason, be it a bad reason, they just don't want to be in the now.
Right.
And then you have people who basically they take all of these mind-altering drugs basically just to see what happens.
Yeah.
There's an element of people like that, which is probably why those other extreme drug markets exist, just to see what happens, you know?
Yeah.
Probably a combination of those first two groups.
Right.
Then there's the people who basically do all the mind-altering drugs because they're trying to seek enlightenment.
Either that or they got a death wish.
Indeed.
Yeah.
And I'm more comfortable with the people who they're basically trying to seek enlightenment, not because of the whole thing about like, ooh, spirituality, ooh, ooh, you're a hippie, and no, not per se that, but it's the whole thing about, unless they're trying to start a cult, like a doomsday cult,
Yeah.
they're relatively harmless.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, they are.
Like, they're not going to be out to get you.
Yeah, they're not trying to score you or anything.
No. They're basically trying to find the secrets of the universe, however which way that they can find. And they're probably not very particularly interested in, like, fucking you over for your property or your life.
Yeah, they don't need your...
They don't need...
Yeah, your use of it to validate the choice they make.
Yeah.
Now, people that do need that, you got to watch out.
Yeah, precisely.
Yeah.
But for the most part, those folk are harmless.
I think so.
For the most part.
For the most part, yeah.
Now, honestly, sometimes it does freak me out because even the people who are trying to find the keys to the universe by any means necessary, just because they're trying to find some sort of enlightenment, some sort of peace about themselves and the world and universe we live in, doesn't mean that they don't have demons to deal with themselves.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
You know?
And just because you find them cool,
yeah,
doesn't mean you should follow them.
Exactly.
Yeah, so you gotta watch out for that too.
Indeed.
But that's you.
Yeah.
That's more you than it is the other person.
Indeed.
Yeah, that's the way I look at it.
So there you go. Don't do drugs.
Don't do drugs.
For legal reasons, this is a joke.
Don't do drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah. Eat your drugs. Stay in milk.
Oh, it's nuts. I've seen people,
Although, to be fair, nowadays, it's kind of become socially acceptable for people to be just constantly fucked up 24/7 now.
Oh, yeah.
Because of the panini.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah. When I went to the doctor last year.
Yeah.
Which was, in December of 2020.
Yeah.
I mean, they were...
Right smack dab in the middle of the panini.
Right in the middle of it.
Yeah. How'd that go?
They were... They wanted to know if they were really interested in if I was having depression. Did I need any medication for that? How was I sleeping?
Yeah.
Did I need any medication for that? So there was a whole lot of people that got put on,
Vicodin or some shit.
Well, I don't know about Vicodin. Vicodin's a narcotic. That's for pain. That's an opiate.
I don't care.
Well, I'm just saying. They're talking about
I'm just saying
mood elevation and things to help you sleep.
Hey, look. I don't care if it's a narcotic. Vicodin is awesome.
Well, it can be a problem.
It can be a problem. I know that. But still, I'm like, hey, look. You see what's going on? Yeah.
That's why I got into yoga.
Mm-hmm. It's also why I got into herbalism.
Yeah. That's just something. It just, after those types of narcotics can really begin to mess your body up.
Yeah, definitely liver cirrhosis.
Well, they stall.
Because I know at least one
the GI tract. You'll gain weight. You won't have
basically Elvis.
Yeah.
And John Wayne to an extent.
Oh, he was cigarettes.
Okay. He brought food. Damn it.
All right.
Anyway. Sorry.
So.
No, I get it. I'm just like.
I don't even know. I
can't even see what's going to happen after this is quote unquote done and over with.
Well, I think the thing people got to be careful now is this. You keep hearing of these overdoses.
Yes.
From this fentanyl.
Fentanyl?
Fentanyl.
Yeah.
is a medication that is used for conscious sedation and anesthesia. In other words, to put you to sleep. So they can do a.
There's just so much better ways to put you to sleep.
Well, that's not. Is it
also a narcotic?
That's fentanyl is a narcotic.
Okay, that makes sense.
It is used for pain.
Yes.
When they put you to sleep for whatever procedure they're going to do on you.
Oh, so it's like an anesthesia?
Well, it isn't necessarily like an anesthesia.
Okay.
It doesn't make you stop breathing. See, an anesthetic, from this perspective, will kind of paralyze your musculature.
Uh-huh.
If they put you on a vent to breathe, that sort of thing.
Oh, that's why anesthesia is dangerous.
Yes.
Okay,
yeah.
I was trying to.
But it's a medication. It's a very hardcore, very.
Fentanyl.
Fentanyl.
Yeah.
It'll make you. It's a very hardcore opioid. It'll make you stop breathing.
Yeah.
So that's why people are taking a drug.
Yeah.
That is laced with it.
Mm-hmm.
And quote unquote overdosing.
Yeah.
And it's basically stopping from breathing.
Yeah, that'll do it.
And they die.
Yeah, that'll do it. Look, guys, there are seriously better ways to put you to sleep. Like basically what the concoction I've cooked up, just doing research.
Right.
Basically, in my quest to become essentially an herbalist, because. All right. I'm gonna say this, and it's probably controversial because it doesn't fit the comic book narrative. But when people are talking about, society collapsing and the apocalypse, I don't think it's gonna be a collapse in that, basically there is no law, there is no government, like total anarchy. I don't think it's gonna be that. Not quite.
Not quite.
I think it's going to be more of a resetting to back to basics. Like, if you look up a little bit pre and during World War II, I think it's during that era where it's like the Victory Garden.
The Victory Garden, yeah.
Yeah, just Google Victory Gardens. That's basically what's beginning to happen. What's in the process of happening is people are going back to growing their own food and foraging their own food and medicine and all that.
More agrarian type.
More agrarian type.
Yeah.
More, this is my piece of property, and if you come near it, I'm gonna shoot you. Very territorial, tribal even. Kind of a back to basics sort of deal.
Yeah.
And I'm not anti going back to basics, because my whole get up is I'm just like, you know what? I think I'm just gonna be like the medicine woman or something.
Right.
In a way.
Eat this plant, not that plant.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, because I'm just like, you know what? I seem to do that pretty well.
No, there's a lot of things. People step over a plant. There's plants in people's yards that they step over to get in their car to go to work.
Yeah.
That if you picked it and dried it and made a tea out of it would help you sleep. Stuff like that.
Yeah. I don't think, like people with the whole dandelions thing. Dandelions help a lot with heart disease, especially the roots, I think.
Yeah, their dandelions are also a diuretic.
Yeah. Help you pee?
Help you pee.
Yeah. You gotta... Some terms I
sure.
have to relearn because I'm a trainer.
Yeah.
But dandelions help with stuff like that.
I'm not recommending them. I'm just telling you that's what they do.
Yeah, basically. So, your dandelions in your front yard are actually beneficial if you learn how to utilize it, but that's okay. So I just sit here and be like, you know what? I guess that'll be my role in the quote-unquote apocalypse. Is I know what plants you can eat and which ones are going to kill you. It's something.
Something. Yeah.
It's something.
Sure.
And I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
And the other week I had basically made this mixture, and I basically call it the sleep status effect, from like Final Fantasy.
Okay.
And that's exactly what it does. You want to get knocked the fuck out? Here, take this. Make a tea out of it. Smoke it. I don't care.
Yeah.
Just get it in your system and you'll get knocked right out.
Yeah, it'll help you sleep.
Yep.
It will. You'll have interesting dreams.
Yeah, it's because of the mugwort.
Mugwort.
Yeah.
A dream enhancer. I have never heard that term.
Yeah. Yeah, mugwort will give you dreams.
Apparently, because it gave me some interesting dreams.
Yes.
Nothing gory or sexual.
No.
Or
Which I thought was kind of odd because one of the herbs I mixed.
alternative.
Yeah, one of the herbs I mixed with it was diamina. Oh God, how the fuck do I pronounce this? It's an herb that I've never heard of. Because here's the thing, I had heard of mugwort. You see,
Right.
I heard it mostly through like the metaphysical people who are like really into the witchcraft stuff. Because yes.
All right.
And I had at least heard of it. I had never heard of this other one.
I had used, in the past, I'd used valerian to help me sleep.
Yeah, valerian, which I do have.
Which is pretty common.
Oh, yeah.
And you can buy it in pill form. You can buy it in tea form.
Yes. Come on. Oh, Demania? How the fuck? Can you see that? Because I got no idea how to say that.
Huh.
Yeah. Demina and yeah. I'm like
Demiana.
Demiana. Like, what the fuck is that? Oh, I already closed it.
All right.
So I got nothing.
Demiana.
Yeah, I got nothing.
Demiana.
But I had done research on that, and it was like, well, this pairs well with, it brings relaxation and is used as a mild aphrodisiac, and it pairs well with mugwort. And I was like, oh, I got both of those. Yeah! And so I basically just combined that plus some lavender for flavor, and I'm like, here, take this to you, because, again, you gotta wake up at ass o'clock in the morning.
I did.
Doesn't really leave you a lot of opportunity to get into the REM sleep.
No.
Yeah. I would say that my little mixture fixed that.
It definitely helped. I mean,
Yeah.
I was in a dream for a long time.
Good.
I don't remember all what I did, but
Sure.
I just remember it was a long time.
Hey, it's something.
It's something. So, who knows?
Yeah, so that has basically encouraged me to go, hey, I think I'm actually better at this than I originally thought, so I'm going to pursue it.
Well, you're interested in it.
Yeah.
That's half the battle right there.
Indeed. So, there you go.
There you go.
Wow, I had no idea this was going to turn into the drug episode.
We really don't make any plans when we come in here.
Not really. I mean, well, we talk about, like, hey, I want to start with this, and then
sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean,
This time we didn't, because, like I said, nothing really happened this week.
Yeah, just my new job.
Yeah, your new
I
job.
don't have to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning anymore.
Yeah.
I'm so happy.
Good. Yeah, you got the new job. You're getting situated. I'm still being a trainer. I technically got a new job that I actually like, that I don't hate. I get to drive around.
Yeah.
Trying to be cautious of it because reasons.
Yeah, reasons.
Even though it makes me so much money.
Gotta be something.
Yeah, it's something. But at the very least, I do enjoy it. I haven't had any
there's
issues
a new
with it.
dynamic taking place.
How so?
Well, just a new workforce dynamic. Alternate ways to have an income. It isn't always going to be 40 hours a week hitting a time clock, going to a particular building.
Thank God.
Learning to make money from home, learning to make money from different perspectives. That'll help you out in the long run.
Oh, yeah.
Because you'll always be able to default back to that 40-hour-a-week time clock kind of thing if you need it. But you're exploring new avenues.
Yeah, because what I'm involved in now, it's basically a driving service, not sponsored.
Not sponsored, so.
And the way it works is you basically work whenever you want.
Right.
So, I mean, I think that's going to be kind of the new model eventually. I don't know how it's going to get implemented, but at some point it has to.
Well,
because it's
been around a lot longer than people predicted it would be, so it must be effective. It must be accomplishing something.
Yeah, because here's the thing. There are some people who just by their nature, they only want to work like a handful of hours each day, and that sets them up pretty well.
Right.
You know, they're better off like that. Then there's some people, based on how they're wired, they want to get up at the crack of dawn, clock in, and go until the sun goes down.
I'm sure they exist. I've done it for a long time, and I really hadn't, well, for the most part, I enjoyed any of it.
Sure.
From that perspective of being chained. Now, that was one of the great things about traveling.
Sure.
But there was always this shadow of, you know,
responsibility,
and you make one wrong step, somebody makes a phone call, and you don't work there anymore.
Exactly. So
you know, you get the instability that you got to deal with.
Mm-hmm. So that's basically just that might be the new model, because you know some people are going to tolerate that 40-hour work week, and other people will not. Like, I've got a friend of mine who, you know, I do think he's a pretty cool person, but he's just in a job where he is in a 40-hour plus work week because he's on salary, because yeah, exactly. So, but he's working a job where it's basically stressing him right the fuck out.
Mm-hmm.
To the point where I'm telling him he needs to stop and do the driving service, like I'm doing, because that seems to make him more happy. You know, less stressful. His wife, her paycheck covers all the bills and the rent and everything.
Right.
So the reason, I don't even know why he's still at that job, because she can pay for all the utensils or the utilities and the rent.
Mm-hmm.
But he's still at that job that stresses him out. But it's a 40-hour work week structure, and he's
on salary. He's doing more than 40 hours a week.
Oh, I know he is, but you know what I mean. Like, he can't let go of that structure, and I'm like, you got to let go of the structure.
It's hard to let go of it.
Yeah, it really at the very least, you can self-impose it on yourself.
I remember the first time I got laid off, and I used my unemployment to pay for school.
Yeah.
But it was I did it for 6 weeks. The first was, before I got my next job, was 6 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And, man, it was tough.
Yeah.
It was tough. It was way outside my programming and my comfort zone.
No, I know. Like, when I get it. When I quit my my massage parlor job, I was completely adrift.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
Like, at one point, it's like, oh, I have a little vacation where I don't have to go anywhere. I don't have to report to anybody. I don't have to clock in or anything.
Right.
Then at some point, I was just like, I'm
supposed to be doing
something. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And now I have something like that.
It's hard to break out of that. It really is.
Indeed. And I think I'm better off for what I'm doing.
You seem to be more mentally
sound.
Related to that.
Thank God.
It's not, you're beginning to embrace it, understand it, work with it, mold it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I needed to do something,
right.
Because I got to pay for class, I got to pay for insurance.
Also, when we were on the road, it was like, am I doing the right thing by homeschooling my kids and moving all over the place? And, hope I'm not ruining them for life, Those types of things that are outside the standard operating procedure of that we are trained to embrace, indoctrinated to embrace, and to operate outside that sphere, it causes questions and second guessing, but you just have to see the value of it. You have to appreciate the value of it.
True. True.
So, yeah, cool.
No, I get it. I'm just glad to be doing something.
Yeah. So, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. It's been a week.
Yeah, and I'm petered out right now.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's okay. You got anything else?
No, I'm good.
Alrighty. Let's wrap it up.
Yeah.
Well, that's it, folks. I was your host, Bel-E.
And I was your co-host, Mr. Scratch.
And we'll see you next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday.
Bye.
Goodbye.